Hello everybody, today we are going to solve these two trigo function. We're gonna find the derivative. So the first one, they kind of look like, but they are different. So, and that's the reason why I choose them, because it can be very confusing. So the first one, let me write it here again. So we have f of x equal sine of pi times x square. So there is a lot of, too many ways to basically find the derivative of this function, but one of them kind of like faster. We can use this trigo definition. So if you have something as d of sine of u dx derivative, so this is the result is going to be u prime times cosine of u. So this is the result for, we can apply this rule, try to find the derivative of this one right here. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to say let u equal pi x square, which is going to be the same as pi square x square. So since u equals that, so we can say u prime has to be equal to 2 pi square n x. All right. Now let's say, since u equal pi x square, this right here, so we can say sine of u equal, sine of u equal, it's the same because I'm just rewriting so we can have a better understanding. So to find sine, the derivative of sine of u, so this will be equal at cosine of u, which is going to be equal at cosine of x pi times x square. All right, so now we can apply this formula now. So we're just gonna say f prime of x has to be equal at, so we're gonna do u prime, this is u prime, so we're gonna say u 2 pi square x times, let's do parentheses, cosine of pi x, then square. So this is the final result. This is one of the way that we can use to solve the problem. I have a second method that I can show you how to do real quick. That way, before we go to the second problem. So let's solve it to a different way. That way we can have flexibility. So let's rewrite it here again. So I'm just gonna say f of x equal sine p x, then square pi times x square. So we know, let me move this up a little bit. So we know that if you want to find the derivative of d of a composite function of df all right, g of x, this is equal f prime of g of x parentheses g prime of x. So we can use this definition of derivative to find over dx. We can use this definition to find the our problem. So over here, then we have to say we're gonna say let f of x be equal of sine of x, and then we're gonna say let g of x be equal at pi times x square. So this is the same as pi square x square. So g prime of x will be equal at 2 p square times x to the power of 1. Yeah, I don't even have to write down the 1, but this just to make sure that we understand. Okay, so now we can say also f prime of x will be equal, if you remember f prime, this is f of x right here. So I'm just gonna find f prime of x will be equal of cosine of x. All right, so now we can apply the definition of derivative. So we're just gonna say this is the chain rule, the definition of chain rule. So we're just gonna say d over dx of f gx will be equal. So we're just gonna say, so f, let's do f prime of gx, f prime of gx, and so this is gx. So we're just gonna say f prime of gx, which is gonna be f prime of 2 pi square x parentheses, right, times g prime of x. What is g prime of x? Is g prime of x is equal, oh, I made a mistake here, sorry, hold on, let me fix this real quick. All right, so this will be, yeah, f prime of g of x of prime, and this is g of x, f prime of g of x. Let me change the I made a mistake here. So f prime of g of, this is g of x. So that's what we need. So we're just gonna write down here f prime of this pi square x square, then parentheses, then we can write down g prime, which is going to be this right here. This is g prime, so g prime can be here. So g prime will be 2 pi square and then x. Yeah, this problem you need to be careful because it's kind of confusing a little bit, but so far we are on the right track. So we're gonna say that f prime, and this is f prime. Let me highlight f prime. This is f prime. So we're just gonna say, so f prime would be then cos of gx, which is going to be cos of pi square x square times 2 pi square and then x. So the final result will be 2 pi square x cosine p square and then x square. So this result and this one are the same. So 2 pi square x cosine of that, same thing. So yeah, so these are the same as writing down 2 pi square x cos of pi x to the power of 2. So same. All right, so this is the first problem. The second one, like I said earlier, that's this one right here. This is the second one, so we're gonna go ahead and do that one. So I'm just gonna say the second problem. So 2. So they say f of x equal sine square pi and then x. Right, that's what we have, and then x. Okay, so to solve this problem, we can apply the chain rule, just like how we did earlier with the other one. But over here we have to understand, before we go further, we have to understand that this is the same as saying f of x equal sine of pi x everything to the power of 2. We can also say sine pi x everything to the power of 2. So let's use the chain rule again. I'm going to write it down, chain rule. So the chain rule says that d over dx of f g of x equal f prime of g of x multiply by g prime of x. So we're just gonna say let f, I should have used something else, but let me do this so it's not going to be no confusion. So let's do this. Let's write down this is correct, the same thing. So because I want to use f here, so let's say f equal x to the power of 2. The reason why I want to do that, because if I do f of x equal x to the power of 2, I will be able to use the composite function to have the same thing over here. That's the reason why I did that. Now, the next thing I need to do, I'm just going to find my g. I'm just going to say g of x now will be equal of sine of pi times x. So I'm going to say f prime of x, which is this one right here, f prime of x will be equal at 2x, and then also g prime of x will be equal at pi cosine of pi x. So the reason why it is equal of this, we need to understand this. So I can basically, we need to understand that if you have something as d of sine of u over dx, this will equal at u prime cosine of u. So we need to understand this, and that is how we get this right here. So we just gonna basically we replace ux. Let me highlight it here. We replace yp by u. So that's what we did, and then that's the reason why we get that. Now this problem is almost over, so all we need to do is basically replace this what we have, and we should be good. So let's rewrite this right here. So we're supposed to have, I'm just gonna call it y prime to make it easy. So it's gonna be f prime of g of x, g prime multiplied by g prime x. So so we don't have to worry about f prime right now, but we have to worry about gx. So we said earlier that gx was equal as this. So we're just gonna rewrite it. So gx, so f of sine pi x. What is our g prime? So our g prime is this. So we're gonna multiply it. We're just gonna say the g prime. So it's gonna be pi cos pi of x. Pi multiplied by cosine of x. So we know that f prime equals 2x. This is f prime. So we're just gonna use that here to here. So we're just gonna say 2 times, so sine of pi x, right, times pi cosine pi x. All right, so we're just gonna say the final result is gonna be 2 pi times sine pi x multiplied by cosine of pi x, and this is the final result. All right, this was the video. So hopefully this will help somebody, and then also I will make 2 more additional video using basically maybe MATLAB or something, just to verify that we have it right. So I will post that video later. So I'll probably just gonna put it in MATLAB. Then it will basically, that is gonna be a way that to verify that what we did was right. And then also that will basically refresh or teach us how to use MATLAB with derivative function. All right, thank you very much. Thanks for watching.